Hey guys, this is Sage Valentine, and this is my review of Sleepy Hollow Season 2, Episode 16, entitled What Lies Beneath. So, what did I think about this episode? You see the smile? Yes, this is the third episode so far that I have enjoyed, and no, I did not check social media. I don't know what they're saying on there, and at this moment, I'm too happy to care, so... What did I like about this episode? The Reavers were awesome. Again, I like the demons, the makeup on them. That was cool. Calvin Riggs, I like him even though he could possibly be suspect. Don't know, but he seemed like he's pretty cool. And he kind of likes Abbie, which I was like, okay, Calvin, all right. He was kind of cute, so, okay. Ichabod didn't like that, which also cracked me up. It cracks me up. Then, the whole background thingy with the Finistella and Thomas Jefferson, that was pretty cool. And how we learned that the reason why Ichabod and Thomas Jefferson fell out was because Thomas Jefferson didn't want to reveal anything about the whole witness thing too quickly to Ichabod, because they basically had to wait until Abbie was introduced into the whole witness apocalypse thing, basically until she was born, because apparently Abbie was picked long before she was born. Like, that's pretty cool, though, if you think about it. What cracked me up was that Calvin Riggs was not as upset as he should have been that Ichabod destroyed his $7,000 camera. Yeah, he really must like Abbie for that. Because I definitely would have been like, dude, are you going to pay for this or something? I would have been super duper uber pissed if that was just me. Strangely, though, I actually believe Frank Irving's story to a degree that there are two sides of him. There's the good Frank and the evil Frank. However, I'm still kind of skeptical because I'm like, okay, well, which Frank was talking to Henry at the end of last episode? But then that does explain why Frank seems a little bit off. But now we know why Frank woke up after he died. It wasn't just because Henry has his soul, is because of that rune thing he had on his hand, and apparently the rune is dying. Please don't tell me that Frank Irving is the person that dies. Like, redemption, something, angel factor here. Bring it in, Sleepy Hollow. I would love for him to just be an angel or something. That would be pretty cool, fighting with the witnesses. And Jenny believed it to a certain degree. But Jenny was still a little bit skeptical, but it is true that he does deserve those reparations that he found in Henry's little book, because after everything that he's going through in this season, yeah, it's about time for somebody to pay off demon reparations. Another cool thing about this episode was the Thomas Jefferson hologram, which I actually thought was Thomas Jefferson. And kudos to Steven Weber from Wings. Dude, totally showing my age. Totally showing my age. But it was cool how that turned out to be like a hologram of Thomas Jefferson's spirit with all of his memories and information. And it could actually talk back to you and think. That was pretty cool. The sad part was that not only was that whole Thomas Jefferson hologram thing connected to the Finistella, but it was being kept alive by the Reavers, who were basically keeping those men captive. And Abbie and Ichabod had to make a really tough decision as to whether or not they should save those men, which was a no-brainer for them, but they would end up losing all that information until Ichabod was like, listen, we could look on the internet, let's just save the people. And that whole saving scene was a really good scene because, I don't know, it just, the things that remind me of season 1 are what make this show great. I'm not saying that the show should stay and continue to echo everything from season 1, but it's like those movie-like elements are what really, really drew me into it. So Ichabod decides that he's going to have to destroy the nest. This happens once Abbie and Ichabod are like out of the tunnel and the two guys are kind of freed, and one of them starts going into shock. So Abbie agrees to go off with the two guys to get the medical attention, and Ichabod decides he's like, I have to do this on my own. So he drops 2 grenades into the hole. They go underground, and I guess they take out whatever reavers are down there. And then he goes down into the Finicella with Thomas Jefferson, and there are 2 reavers there. And he goes all Daryl Dixon, Katniss Everdeen on them. And to make a long story short, Thomas Jefferson's kind of pissed, locks him inside of the Finicella until Ichabod tells him, like, we have got to do this. We can't allow these things to go out into the world. Because the world that Thomas Jefferson knew no longer exists, and there's like a quadrillion people basically in the expanded North America. So Thomas Jefferson just basically tells him what to do. But he also explains to Ichabod that, like, the reason why they fell out was because nobody could in any way interfere with the legend of the path that both witnesses were on. And Thomas Jefferson wanted to tell Ichabod what was going to happen to him, but he couldn't, because it was foretold that they had to wait until Abbie was born and Abbie was introduced into the whole witness thingy. So the chamber was basically built filled with information for the both of them, as I said. So, to make a long story short, Ichabod blows the tunnel, and I guess the reavers and everything else is dead for the most part. So, in the end, Calvin and Abbie exchange a few words. Calvin sends Abbie an email with a really pretty picture that he took of her. And this message, basically telling her that she could trust him, which I thought was kind of cute. Maybe they could be, I don't know, something, friends, or maybe wishful thinking could make them boyfriend and girlfriend. I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to ship them together. They won't have to be strong. But then again, Buffy had a boyfriend. Sookie Stackhouse had a boyfriend. A lot of supernatural people have boyfriends and girlfriends, and they were okay. Until some of the boyfriends went evil, but they were okay anyway. But the best part of the episode was the ending with Katrina. Now, if you're not convinced that Katrina is evil and you're just like, I don't want to believe it, unfortunately, Sleepy Hollow is not going to allow you guys to do that. Because Katrina wakes up blinded by the light, is talking to Henry, who basically says something like, he killed Moloch for his mother, for her, and that it's time for them to begin work for their kind. So I don't know what he's talking about. Is Katrina some type of demon or something? Is she really evil? Like, what is going on? And she kind of wakes up from this dream, and you're thinking, okay, everything's over. She goes over to kind of wash her face, wash her hands, and blood is like in the water. She turns around because Henry gave her 3 black roses, and the roses are sitting there on the table surrounded by blood. So did it happen? Didn't it happen? God only knows, but I like this episode. And as I said, I'm glad that they have Katrina with her own storyline that is not in any way overshadowing what's going on with the witnesses and their battle that's going on. It's going on by itself. And that's pretty cool. So shout out to Damian Kendler and Philip Icecove. Good job. So until next time, you all take care. Sage Valentine here. Don't forget to rate this video, comment, and subscribe to my brand of crazy. Also check me out on Twitter, Sage Valentine, and Google+. And yeah, that's about it. So It's my final video of the night. I'm happy. I'll probably do another one sometime later in the week. But if not, you all take care. Love you all. Bye, guys. Bye.